This video has been sponsored by Original Stitch. Hey Pokemon Masters, Toby here, and in this video I'm gonna complete a series. See, last year I traveled around every single region of the Pokemon world looking for hidden secrets, Easter eggs, and just bits of trivia that I thought were really cool to make a playlist of videos covering the things that got me into YouTube in the first place. But the observant among you may have realized that I skipped over a region. I didn't ever do the Sinnoh region. It's almost like I was waiting for Sinnoh to be more searchable and relevant. Anyway, this video is going to contain 15 bits of trivia, which I think combined with all the past episodes takes me to like 145. Darn, I was 6 away from 151. That said, if I've missed anything really cool about Sinnoh, let me know in the comments below, and let's get started. Before we begin, Pokemon Masters, I have to thank Original Stitch, today's sponsors, for keeping me so incredibly well dressed. Original Stitch is my favorite and official Pokemon attire, and as you can see, I've worn a lot of their shirts in past videos. They've been keeping me well dressed as they've journeyed through the Kanto and Johto regions. As you can see on their website, you can customize and mix and match your shirt however you like, creating a shirt that is personal to you. Today I've been wearing the Skarmory design. I like it because they sometimes sneak extra Pokemon onto here, so we got Honedge and a Scavalier, and then underneath the cuff we have the Scizor design. The Original Stitch shirts just come in these really classy looking boxes, and I mean, they look so great in the wrapper, like ready to go. I've been saving a bunch of them for formal Pokemon events, while others I wear in my videos. And while yes, I'm a big fan of this Skarmory design, I'm also a huge fan of the Raikou design. Both me and the Last Shaman have a matching set of this one. And now Original Stitch has headed out to the Hoenn region, and their first 34 Hoenn design fabrics are available to play around and mix and match your shirts with. They've sent me out this really colorful Grovyle shirt, and I just love the way that the colors pop on this. But I think for today, I'm gonna go for Pack Fresh, the Steelix shirt, in sort of celebration of my first ever Pokemon theory. And on the inside, there's some Croconaw, which just adds that splash of color that I really like. Make sure to click the link in the top of the description to start customizing your personal Pokemon shirt today, and a massive thank you to Original Stitch for sponsoring this video. So with that all being said, let's jump in with 15 Easter eggs, starting with number 1, a literal Sinnoh Easter egg. Oh, it was the spring of 2007. I believe Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, yes, they were already out, but Pokemon Ranger, that was just coming out or just released. Pokemon Ranger, of course, for those of you who don't know, it's the only way that you can get a Manaphy egg in your copy of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Really cool bit of trivia. And the Manaphy egg does have like a specific look to it over other Pokemon eggs. It is a really special egg, and it's the only way to get this mythical Pokemon. Anyway, here in the UK, I remember sitting in school, browsing the internet, wondering how do I get this mythical Pokemon, and I stumbled across the Game website, which at the time, the store Game, it's the English equivalent of GameStop, they were doing the distribution for the Manaphy egg, but it read on the website that Game were giving out chocolate Pokemon eggs with the Manaphy code, and I thought that can't be right. I went in and I never got any chocolate, but I did get the code to unlock the Ranger mission to get Manaphy. Years later, I was talking to my friends Herbie Joe and Virtually Marty about this, and I have to say a huge thank you to Virtually Marty for this Easter egg. I was saying to them, did I make it up? Was there no chocolate egg? Did I not really read that? At that point, Marty said, oh, it's not a chocolate egg. It was a chocolate Pokeball inside a Manaphy box, and after all these years, she still has it. Yes, including the chocolate wrapped up, because it was a Pokemon event and she didn't want to eat it. So you were able to get your Manaphy distribution code for the Manaphy egg in the Ranger mission from this Manaphy box that contained a chocolate Pokeball. And because the release was in spring and it's chocolate and it's to do with an egg, my brain went Easter egg, and I thought I had to open up this Easter egg video with that, because that's a bit of trivia I don't think many people would know about. And thank you, Marty, for sharing these images with me. Number 2, let's talk about the Rotom room. In Pokemon Platinum, there is a hidden room underneath the Team Galactic building where the Pokemaniac Charon? No, wait, that's one of my viewers. Hi, Charon. The Pokemon scientist Charon, I don't know how to pronounce it. This Pokemon scientist is researching into Rotom, and Rotom's got a weird kind of connection with Team Galactic. See, before Pokemon, Game Freak worked on a little game called Pulseman, and immediately you can kind of see some similarities between Pulseman and Rotom, but also Team Galactic is a nod to the Galactic Gang who appear in Pulseman. Now, it's interesting to note that this room was only available through a secret key that you would get as part of a distribution event, so currently if you load up your copy of Pokemon Platinum, you won't be able to access this room unless you got that key from that event. But this little reference and connection to Team Galactic hasn't gone, like, forgotten at all, not even by the creators of Pokemon. In the part of the story for Team Rainbow Rocket and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, Cyrus takes a little mention of Rotom when Rotom pops out of the Rotom Dex, and Cyrus is like, ah, a Rotom. And then in Pokemon Masters, Sophocles' Rotom appears out in front of Cyrus, and Cyrus once again takes note of Rotom. It seems that there's a connection here between Cyrus and Rotom, which I've alluded to in a theory on the channel in the past, but I'll get more into that in a separate video. But yeah, it seems that Team Galactic and Rotom are pretty well tied together. Number 3, I mentioned earlier about Pokemon Ranger and the Manaphy egg, but Manaphy isn't the only Pokemon you could get from the Pokemon Ranger games. Deoxys, Heatran, Celebi, Mew, Riolu, and Darkrai, I think, are all available through various Pokemon Ranger in-game event distributions. However, you've probably not heard of them so much because they were a limited time event. And I believe they only spanned the first 2 Pokemon Ranger games. I don't think they were in the third one. But in the original Pokemon Ranger, everyone knows about the Manaphy event, and why. See, every copy of Pokemon Ranger has built into it a Ranger Net mission, and once per copy, physical copy of the game, not save file, you can get a Manaphy. I've mentioned it on the channel a lot before. Just one of those things that I think is really, really cool. And yeah, you can get one per copy of the game. But these other mythical Pokemon, they were limited time events. Not only could you get one per copy of the game, but you also had to be there in the moment, in the time, meaning if you have one of these mythical Pokemon, or Riolu, you have some of the rarest Pokemon from Pokemon's history of events ever, in my opinion. Number 4, it's a quick little Easter egg. There are some thirsty guards. Just outside Canalave City, there are some thirsty guards, and this of course is a reference to Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, where there's thirsty guards who don't allow you to get into Saffron City until you quench their thirst. That was a quick one. Number 5, let's talk about the oddity that is the Odd Keystone. The Odd Keystone, of course, is the item that you put into the Hallowed Tower after interacting with, I think, 32 people in the Sinnoh Underground so that you can get hold of Spiritomb, and Spiritomb has the Odd Keystone as sort of part of its biology. We learn in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire that the people of the Sea Marvel got hold of one as it was donated to them by Oboro Mine, which is in the Sinnoh region, which means these Odd Keystones are all over the place. You can also find them in the Sinnoh Underground, but there are 2 in the main story that are really, really well hidden. The first is on Route 208. There is a random karate guy, I think, who comes up to you and just sort of says, shush, don't say anything, take this. Okay, that's a little bit weird, but given that you have to walk past this character on your way to Hearthome City, it's unlikely that you'll miss him, although sometimes that does happen. The other one is so much better hidden, and that, of course, is in Twin Leaf Town, right at the very beginning of the game. If you, instead of leaving north so that you can go to the lake and go on to Sandgem Town, if you instead surf south and search in between some trees on the side of the little lake at the bottom of the town, you will find an Odd Keystone. What in the world is it doing there? Oh, number 6, if you played your Sinnoh game on a 3DS or a 2DS, then maybe you wouldn't know about this. But if you played as they originally came out on a Nintendo DS Original or a DS Lite, then you'll have the Game Boy slot at the bottom of your console. And if you put in there a copy of Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Red, or Leaf Green while playing your copies of Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, then other Pokemon become available in the game. I think you need to have the National Dex in order for these Pokemon to become available to you. You need to have unlocked the PAL Park. I just think it's a really great way to have Pokemon from the Hoenn, Kanto, and Johto regions appearing in the Sinnoh region. One of my favorite ones personally is that I think you can just have any game in the GBA slot to do this. If you have any game in the GBA slot, when you visit the Rotom room at a certain time, Wild Gengar will spawn. Interestingly enough, you can actually do something similar with Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, as well as Heart Gold and Soul Silver, with the spin-off side game, the Dream Radar, where once you complete that game, because it's downloadable, your DS slot is free. If you've got any of those other DS title Pokemon games in the DS cartridge slot, game box art Pokemon will appear in the Dream World. Dialga for Diamond, Palkia for Pearl, Giratina for Platinum, Ho-Oh for Heart Gold, and Lugia for Soul Silver. Number 7, another interesting one about rare Pokemon is that on the Nintendo Wii there was a Generation 4 compatible game called My Pokemon Ranch, or Pokemon Ranch on Wii. In Japan they had a Platinum update, but I'm pretty sure in the West it was only available for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl compatibility, and you could transfer your Pokemon to stay there and live there as a sort of storage system, a kind of early version of Pokemon Home. Your Pokemon would live with this character Haley, who in-game would look kind of like a Mii from the Nintendo Wii system, and all of your Pokemon would kind of have this Nintendo Mii / Pokemon Rumble type look about them, and this game could award you, if you filled up the boxes enough, with a Fiona or a Mew. This being, aside from the aforementioned Pokemon Ranger Mew, the only other way to get Mew on a Generation 4 game in those times, and the thing is, you can still do this. If, and a big if, you downloaded the Pokemon Ranch game to your Wii before the Wii eShop closed. If you still have this game on your Nintendo Wii, do not delete it. There is no way to get it back, and right now it's the only way to get that Mew and that Manaphy, and again, it just means that with every Nintendo Wii system that's reset, or breaks, or everyone who forgets that they've got this game, those Pokemon become rarer and rarer. Number 8, in the big climactic battle at Spear Pillar, you're taking on Cyrus and Dialga and Palkia. You see the whole Sinnoh region in terror as time and space distorts, and we get this cutscene where waves of sort of energy are covering over the Sinnoh region. However, if you play this cutscene on a Friday, you'll notice that there's a Drifloon outside the Valley Windworks during the cutscene. This is because the only way to catch Drifloon in Diamond and Pearl is to go to the Valley Windworks on a Friday, and it'll be waiting for you there. And again, attention to detail, this is beautiful. Who thinks to do this? And I do wonder, if you play this cutscene on a Friday but you've already caught the Drifloon, will it be gone? I should try that out sometime. Number 9, let's have a natter about Chatter. Chatot's exclusive move, it's the signature move of Chatot, only Chatot can learn it, and it is a move that in the Generation 4 and Generation 5 era, you could use the DS microphone to change what the attack did. That's right, Chatot was copying the sound that its trainer was making, and usually the louder a noise that you made into the microphone, the more powerful the move would become, increasing your chances of giving your opponents confusion when you used it. It is a fun little gimmick, but they ultimately decided to remove it from Generation 6 onwards without that ability happening, and as far as I'm aware, they probably won't bring it back. The Chatter move, obviously you could say literally anything and there's no way to censor it. Any particularly rude Pokemon trainers out there could say whatever they wanted over the DS microphone, and then when they took their Pokemon into online battle and used the move Chatter, it would play that sound. Now, back then the DS microphone was maybe distorted enough that you could pretend it was something else, but nowadays our microphone technology has gotten pretty good. That's just a fun one. Chatter is such a I don't want to say forgettable Generation 4 Pokemon. It's not the first one that springs to mind. And hey, I'm a bird keeper. I love them all. Number 10, this one is entirely fan speculation, but I absolutely love it, and that is the connection between the Sharpedo line and the Garchomp line. Both Pokemon have the rough skin ability. Both Pokemon have a star on their head. Gibble is known as the land shark Pokemon. Sharpedo, of course, is a shark. They both seem to have the same type of temperament about them in that they're both quite aggravated in general. They seem like quite aggressive Pokemon. And Shiny Sharpedo and Shiny Garchomp are exactly the same. And I know you're thinking, hang on, that Shiny Garchomp's the same as regular Garchomp. We look at its Mega here. So speculation is that these Pokemon might be biologically related, but again, that's just a fan theory. Speaking of fan theories, number 11, Drasna, the Kalos Elite Four member. I got this theory, I believe, from Pokemon Insider, is from the Sinnoh region. In fact, very specifically, she's from Celestic Town. She says that her grandparents came to Kalos from a distant region, from a town where the past lives on, and that's really what Celestic Town is. It is a town to do with the ancient lore and mythology of the Sinnoh region. And of course, she is a dragon expert who uses an Altaria, which is catchable on the route just before Celestic Town, and, you know, Cynthia, the other main trainer that we know has come from Celestic Town, is in herself kind of a dragon expert a little bit. I mean, her ace is a Garchomp. And also, just to make it like really clear in Diamond and Pearl, the map description says that it's a tiny town that preserves the history of the Sinnoh region and old ways of life. Number 12, speaking of like character speculation, there is also speculation that the Sinnoh gym leader Fantina is from the Kalos region, because in the English version of the game, she speaks in a French accent, and she seems to have that kind of French air about her. However, in the French and Japanese versions of the game, she actually just speaks with an English accent, which might imply that she's actually from the Galar region. So Fantina could be one or the other, I suppose. Number 13, we should talk about Porygon Z, again, one of my favorite Pokemon from the Sinnoh region. Porygon was created to infiltrate cyberspace. It's created from data and it lives in cyberspace, and that's really cool. Porygon 2, according to its Pokedex entries, designed to live and exist in the world of real space, deep space. A Pokemon capable of deep space exploration. Pretty cool. And Porygon Z is, well, it's a corruption. While Porygon evolves into Porygon 2 using the upgrade, Porygon 2 evolves into Porygon Z using the dubious disc. Something is wrong. The disc has been manufactured with corrupt data that turns Porygon Z into, well, this glitchy mess. But the project was originally designed to be able to infiltrate and investigate the world of alternate dimensions, according to its Pokedex entry. For this reason, the dubious disc can be found in both the Team Galactic headquarters and then in Pokemon Sun and Moon in the Aether Paradise, because both of these evil organizations have interests in alternate dimensions, with the Aether Paradise investigating Ultra Beasts, and of course Team Galactic studying Dialga, Palkia, and the alternate dimension Pokemon Giratina. Number 14, you might be aware of this one, I don't know. Are you a fan of House? House, the TV show that stopped airing like forever ago. I really enjoyed this show. I watched the whole thing through, and being a Pokemon fan, I was like, wait, did he just reference Pokemon? When House directly references Arceus. House says this is why Arceus created 3 states of matter. I don't know if he's referring to Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina here, or maybe Azelf, Uxie, and Mesprit, but then the other characters are like Arceus, and that House is just like, look it up. And I personally love that behind House's genius, he's just sitting there with his Nintendo DS, playing away at some Pokemon. And finally, number 15, again, rooted in something that's not the Sinnoh games themselves, per se, but in the I Choose You Pokemon movie for the 20th anniversary, there is a character called Verity, and that should sound pretty Sinnoh already, because Lake Verity is a lake in Sinnoh. It is in fact the first lake of Sinnoh, and the one next to Twin Leaf Town, where Verity says she's from. Now, Verity uses a Piplup, but also in the movie mentions that her mother is a really famous Pokemon trainer, and we actually see her mother with an Empoleon, and if you look at this character's design, come on, tell me that's not Cynthia. However, the director of the movie himself said that this may not be, or implied that this may not be Cynthia, so who knows? I believe Cynthia has a sister in Celestic Town. Maybe she grew up, moved to Twin Leaf Town. But then again, we did mention the fact that there's an odd keystone in Twin Leaf Town, and Cynthia has a Spiritomb, so I don't know, this is a hard one for me. For me, personally, I'm on the side here that Verity is definitely Cynthia's daughter, but speculation, fan speculation. And there you have it. That's every single Pokemon region done. 15 secrets, Easter eggs, bit of trivia, things that I think are interesting, things that hopefully you found cool and interesting that maybe you didn't know about. Of course, as I continued to conquer through the regions myself, I did it dressed in style, wearing shirts from the sponsor of today's video, Original Stitch, who have kept me dressed in the shirts of Kanto and Johto. They've done some limited edition time ones, they've got some Galar ones available at the moment, and specifically they're launching their first 34 designs for the Hoenn region, and I want to thank them again so much for sending out a shirt. It looks absolutely amazing. I absolutely adore it. Thank you again to them for sponsoring today's video, and again, click that link at the top of the description to start creating your custom Pokemon design today. And with that all being said, so hi Pokemon Masters.